Hi guys, thank you for watching. Welcome to today's video and to my channel if you're new here. I'm Debbie if you don't know me. And for today's video, just gonna have a bit of a makeup playtime really with a palette that I've bought that I've not seen anyone really use at all. So I was just tempted to get it because it's the first time that this brand has had an eyeshadow palette available on Beauty Bay. I'm talking about the Suva Beauty Hyper Colour palette. It's pretty damn big, as you can see when I'm holding it up here. It's got a variety of different formulas within the palette. So you've got some UV glow shades, some normal pretty colourful rainbow mattes, and then you've got these topper shades as well. And I don't think I'm ever gonna go anywhere where I need to wear a UV glow, but I just was really curious to try Suva Beauty's formula, and I don't have many topper shades that I get on well with, so I thought these look really pretty. So just gonna have a play with it today. But what I have done is bought a backlight torch so that we can have a look and see how the UV glow colours work. So if you're interested in getting the palette, you'll be able to see, you know, how they do react to the light. But more for me, it was just to try Suva Beauty and just try their eyeshadows because, as I say, they've had other palettes out, but they've never made it to Beauty Bay before. This one was £29, which I thought was a really good price for an indie brand, and I got £5 of try points, so £24 to try it. Even if I never use the UV shades again, I thought it might be worth it for me just to have the toppers and those matte shades. But what I have been doing is watching some videos to see how to go about using the UV glow shades, and I'll show you why they're a problem to use, or not so much a problem, but they need a different technique. So if I take one of those shades, so take say Hallucinate, and try and swatch it, so I've got some there on my finger, that's about as much payoff as you're going to get. But what you have to do is use a fluffy brush, so something along the lines of this one. This one's the Morphe 573. Really coat your brush in that before you apply them, and I've watched the little videos they put on Instagram and it seems to work really well doing that. So we're going to do that. The only thing that they show you to do then is to pack on the mattes, which no problem doing that with a packing brush, but then to stroke the toppers on with a finger, which I don't like to do. So I'm going to go in with NYX glitter primer. I just find that works really well for adhering anything that doesn't have too many binders in, and I have kind of touched these to see, and it will just like flake off like glitter if you don't either apply it with your finger, so you've got the oils on your finger to kind of press it on, or use some sort of adherent like a glitter primer. So we're going to get going. This could be a disaster. I've no idea how the palette's going to perform, or really how to use it. It's not often that I buy something I don't really feel even confident to start using. So yeah, pray for me, this could be fun. But I'm going to scooch you in and we're going to have a little go at putting the UV glows on, creating some sort of a look with those matte shadows and using the toppers. And then I will show you the UV glow in black light so that we can see how that looks. Okay, so we'll get started. So I'm going to hold the palette up that way. I think it'll make life a lot easier. I think I'm attracted to that purpley shade, so Hallucinate. So I'm going to go in with that one as like my kind of transition-y shade, and then I'm going to deepen a little bit with that Cloud 9 shade. So I've used a couple of the shades from the UV section, and probably that blue, I think that could look pretty. So just staying in those for today, and then using one of these toppers. So for the toppers, we've got 4 colours we could choose from. So we've got Daiquiri, Cotton Candy, Lemon Drop and Mojito. So I'm guessing we've got like a green, a pink, a purple and a yellow. They all look white in the pan. As I say, I've kind of touched them, but I've not really swatched them out. But I think I'm probably going to be going with probably the Cotton Candy one today, which looks like it's got a bit more of a blue reflect, which I think will go nice with that colour combo that I'm looking to do. So I'm going to go in with Hallucinate, and as I say, this fluffy Morphe brush, and really coat the brush. What they did say about these is you shouldn't get any fallout in the video that I watched, so we will find out because I've properly coated the brush here. So let's see what happens. Wow. Well, that's certainly showing up a lot more vivid than I expected. And looking at that swatch in the pan, it looked awful. Like if you swatched it just on the back of your hand. When I first got it, I watched the video because I was like, I just swatched one of the shades just to see what they'd be like, and I was like, this is terrible. But this is obviously the way it's designed to be. So they were shown to like really like pack it on and that you wouldn't get any fallout, and I really haven't, so that's pretty impressive. The other thing that they said that you can do with these is use them like hydroliners, so you can wet them and use a liner brush and use them as liners, which could be a lot of fun, I think. I've got one Suva Beauty Hydro Liner, I've got Scrunchy, I've never used it though, but I think I really need to bust that out actually and give that a try, because I've got an idea for that Scrunchy that I want to try probably in my next video. And I think quite a few people have got these hydro liners. That is blending really, really well. It'd be interesting to see how neon it is and where the placement ends up being, like whether it's going to end up looking good under neon lights. I've no idea, but considering how badly that's swatched, but how amazing that looks on the eyes. You could use these, of course, as just normal shadows, and you don't need to use reactive light to get the most out of them. So I'm going to do the same thing with Cloud 9, and I'm just going to build up in the outer corner. See, that's packing on amazing. Do you know what? I probably will get a lot more use out of this than I perhaps first thought, because normally if you're going with this amount of pigment on a fluffy brush, I would have fallout all over my face. So I don't know how they've done this, but it's literally just pressing into my skin but not going anywhere other than where I want it to go, which is pretty impressive. This is not going to be the most attractive eye look I've ever done. I just wanted to just play with them and just see how they work. And I'm really, really impressed so far. Like, I've not really dug into the pan. I'm not getting any kick up in the pan. But I've just made sure I did what they said to do, and to use a natural hair brush. I guess if you only use synthetic brushes, you'd need to just make sure you've used one that's quite a wiry sort of brush rather than like a soft blending brush. This one's the Jeffree Star JS6. I'm using this one in preference to the other one because it is just a little bit more tapered, so easier to control. I'm just going to bring that blue just into my crease just slightly. So this is looking super messy as an eye look, but they're going on really well. I just wanted to just see how they would be. And they blend pretty well over the top of one another as well, which is good. Just going to go back in with that Hallucinate shade and just make sure I've blended the edges of that together. I honestly expected, to be honest, this to be a comedy video and for it to go pretty badly, but it's actually not too bad. I think if I'd have took my time and done a bit better a shape, we could have had a really nice eye look out of this. And I might still be able to rescue it. I'm going to take it a bit more seriously now and start really making sure that I place things in a good way. You can see from the pans they're pretty clean, no fallout around it really. I'm super impressed with the way they went on. Alright, I'm going to use After Hours now and a packing brush like they explained to do. So these just are normal matte eyeshadows, so these will have fallout. This is an E57 by Sigma. I'm just going to pack that on over the rest of my lid really, where I've not got any shadow. One thing I thought might be a challenge is blending the mattes into the UV glow shades, but I'm not really finding that to be too much of a problem either. Can't wait to use these mattes over a white base. I think they would look really, really impactful over a white base. Just going to take our original brush, which has sort of gone a pinky blue now, just to just blend on the edges. Those mattes have got a little bit of fallout in the pan, a little bit of kick up, but not too bad at all really. Right, I'm going to go in with some glitter glue because, as I say, they do say just to use your finger for those shades, but I just don't really enjoy doing that. So I'm just going to pack just a little bit of glitter glue over, just really where I put the After Hours shade, that bluey shade. I'm going to use my Moon Dust brush by Urban Decay because I think this is the sort of thing like a Moon Dust shadow, that it's quite sparkly but loose, so this helps to really pick those up. I've picked up a bit of that Cotton Candy shade and I'm just going to show you it is super flaky on a brush, so whether this is going to be a disaster or not. I'm applying okay. I think the next time I use it I might have to try using my finger because it's quite hard to stop the fallout even with using a glitter glue. I'm getting some fallout and they're little flakes and they're not going to go into my eyes. So that's totally changed that blue though. Looks super pretty. Alright, I'm just going to try with my finger just to see if that makes any difference to the opacity of it. Actually, I think it does. I think you're going to need to use your finger for these to really get the effect that they're looking for you to get. Which makes it difficult to get them into the corners. I think that's the best I'm going to do. Doesn't look terrible though, looks okay. I'm going to go in with a pink pencil in my waterline. This is Woodstock by Urban Decay. I just think I was going to go blue and then I thought no, I'll just keep it light in the waterline. The only thing that's limiting now is that I want to put a pink really on my lower lash line, but because those are the shades that you've really got to dig into and use a natural hair brush to kind of spread out and pick it up, that's kind of not really an option. So I'm going to go back in with the same shade I used on my lid. I'm just going to run that on my lower lash line. I think it's going to look okay actually. I am impressed with the way that the UV shades are playing with the mattes, so they still blend into each other even though they're a completely different kind of formula. I've gone quite heavy on the lower lash line because it's a light colour. I really want it to show up, and it looks a completely different colour to my lids now because I've got that sparkle shade on there. It's really transformed that shade. If you look at it on my lower lash line now compared to what it was looking like on my lids, now it's got the topper on it. Okay, so that's the look so far. Not hating it actually. I thought I was going to hate it. I'm not hating it. So I'm just going to go off camera, do a little bit of liner, mascara and a lip, and then I'm going to come back and show you the finished look, and then we're going to have a look and see whether the UV glow works as well with the backlight. So I'll be right back with you with the finished look in just a second. Okay guys, so here's the finished look. And it turned out so much better than I expected. I'd actually wear this out, I think, and I honestly bought this just for like a bit of fun, and I think it's really good. So let's just have a look and see whether we can see that UV glow. So I'm just going to knock down the lights, put on the backlight, and we'll see. I'm excited. Well, that was super disappointing. You can't see it in UV light. I don't know if I bought a little torch. That's what I bought to do this. I don't know if it's just not strong enough, but I shone the light onto this and this was like literally like glowing luminous, but whether I've sheared out the shadows too much. I need to maybe go to some sort of club or rave or something to find out. I think maybe the white would have shown up more. So if you're looking for this to be UV glow, I think maybe the white or the pink, those two seem to, when I shone the light at them, they looked a lot more luminous. So yeah, as a UV product, it's not really doing it for me, or definitely not with the torch, but as just a bright, colourful palette, I'm super impressed. Like, I literally dug my brush into that shade, like that blue for example, and I got 0 fallout, which I can't think of a time I've ever been able to do that. So I think that's amazing. I think the toppers are really pretty. It's totally transformed that greeny After Hours shade. So that shade, I made it into a blue with that topper on it, which I used the shade Cotton Candy, which is that one. So I'm eager to play with these a bit more and kind of see what happens with each of these over some of the others, and also over the UV shades. I'm just going to use them as eyeshadows, I think, to be honest, and they work really well as eyeshadows. So I say the only limitation I can think of is that when you're using these shades, you're going to have to use quite a fluffy brush to be able to pick up any shadow, otherwise it's going to be super thin of an application and you're hardly going to see it. But other than that, I think they're really good quality. The packaging is lovely. It feels like proper solid, nice, and I think it's something a little bit unique to the market, and I'm interested to see how it will play if I dip my brush in water and use them as liners. I think that could look super cool. And as I say, I'm eager to try that scrunchie as well now I've played with this. I bought this a long time ago and I didn't really have the skills to do a wing liner just like, you know, myself, without it being like fully prepared, I didn't think, but I think I can work out how to do that now. So that might be my next video, just having a bit of a play with that. But yeah, who do I think this palette's for then? Well, anyone that wants to try Suva Beauty in the UK, because for £29 I think it's pretty much of a bargain for what you're getting, because you're getting 8 shadows, 4 of which are UV glow if you're going to somewhere where they're going to show up. I think you need a lot more of intense of a UV light for them to show up. And then the 4 topper shades as well. So 12 shades in different formulas in a very nice package. I think great fun just to experiment with. And I think, you know, if you're like me and you're in makeup fatigue and you just want to see some new products, this is fun, you know, and I think that's what attracted me to it. I think for the person that's not afraid to wear colour on their eyes like me, you know, it's just good to see something new, something exciting, something a bit different. So hope you enjoyed seeing me play with it. It wasn't so much of a, I was expecting it to go badly and be a comedy video, and actually I think it turned out okay really. But I will actually take it a lot more seriously and do a proper look with it at some point. Let me know guys, would you like to see 3 looks with this palette and something a little bit more editorial done with it, you know, with the UV shades done as liners, etc. I'd love to know, because it's the sort of thing I would enjoy doing, but if you're not interested in the palette then I won't. But I think, you know, it's all about whatever shades are in here, you could probably replicate similar if you've got some liquid liners and you've got some, you know, a lot of people have the hydro liners, for example. So yeah, so I really enjoyed filming it. Hope you enjoyed watching. If you're new to my channel, then I'd love it if you would consider subscribing before you go. But other than that, guys, brings us to the end. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.